So we started working with an agency back in 2016. It was just before Christmas and we're just coming up to the 2016 year end. And this managing director had these grand plans to grow his business exponentially and massively grow his workforce. When we looked at his plan, it was all about, as I say, growing headcount, meeting demand. And what we helped him to realise is that he was doing that out of opportunity, out of growing turnover, but not necessarily growing the bottom line. So what we helped this agency owner to do was just to put the brakes on, to stop recruiting for a little while, and to put a plan in place to work out how we could actually focus on growing that bottom line and not just growing turnover for the sake of it. In 2016, they had made just £25,000 profit, which is not enough for a £2 million business. It's just over 1%, which is very, very low for the amount of hard work that he's putting in. The stress of running a business on such tight margins like that is incalculable, and what we wanted to help him to do is to start to enjoy the rewards from all the hard work that he's putting in. In 2017, they made 10 times the amount of profit, so £250,000, which if I was listening to a video like this, I would say that sounds very far-fetched and very grand, but these were real results. We didn't expect it to have such an uplift in profit, but the work that we did with him and the plans that we put in place enabled us to really concentrate on finding the profit leaks in the business and finding the opportunities to generate the maximum return it could from the team that he already had without getting distracted with growing and putting holes into his bottom line. So what I want to do is just talk a little bit more detail about how we helped him to do that. So before we could start to help this agency, we had to put a plan together, and the plan took 4 specific stages that we worked through with them. Stage 1 was to help them to identify and calculate the potential of the business that they already had. So this was, remember, a £2 million agency making £25,000 profit. And what we wanted to do was to look at the makeup of the teams and the services that were on offer, and we were able to very objectively calculate what the return is that he should be getting from the resources that he had. So how much revenue and how much profit could they generate from the services that they could provide and the skills and resources that they had available within the agency. And from that, we were able to look at a much more profitable business that we could now build, and we broke that down by the various divisions in the business. Stage 2 then was to have a look at how they're performing now. So where stage 1 was looking at what's possible, stage 2 is to look at how they're actually performing now. So it was very much about getting into the data, analysing the different services and different departments within the business, and understanding how they were performing in comparison to what the profit potential was of each of those divisions. Once we saw that data, we could see where the gaps are, which areas were performing well and which areas were not. Stage 3 then was all about prioritising the areas that were underperforming, and we did have to make some difficult decisions about what we would stop doing. So which things that were just going to be very, very difficult to make profitable, and we're just going to cut them out, stop wasting the money and the time and energy on those, and concentrate on the areas that were most core to the agency, and make sure that those that were underperforming could learn from the areas that were performing very well. Performing very well just means making higher profit margins, and we started to spend time with the different teams and the heads of the teams to work out what it was that the profitable areas were doing so well that the other areas could perhaps learn from. So once we were clear on what the actual profit potential of this business was, and then we worked out where we actually are now, and then we worked out the gap and how we're going to get there, it was now about executing this plan. But the only way that we would be able to execute the plan is to make sure that we had regular reporting in place. So stage 4 was all about making sure that we had a dashboard of the key metrics that were in the business, because we knew that whatever plan we put into place, it isn't just going to kick in from day one. We're still going to have problems and issues and challenges along the way. But by having this dashboard, by having daily, weekly and monthly reports on the right KPIs, we were able to adjust and get in and take action on the things that were going off track. By having that regular reporting in place, it meant that we could take immediate action and make sure that we stuck to the plan and that we hit the plan. So stage 4 was all about reporting. What reports do you need in place to tell you whether you're on track? What are the KPIs that you need to track? And we worked out what they were for this agency, and we put that reporting structure in place, and we had 12 months of just hammering that reporting and just working very closely with that agency. And that's how ultimately we ended up achieving 10 times the profit margin in 2017 than we did in 2016. So the next steps for you is, the good news is you've already completed stage 1. You've got your profit maximiser report, which shows you the profit potential from what you've already got. Stage 2 then is to calculate how you're actually performing against the numbers in those reports. So are you achieving those charge out rates? Are you achieving the turnover per employee that it shows on there? And you're achieving the profit margin? And once you understand the gap, you can move into stage 3, which is planning what you're going to do about it. So looking at the areas that you fall short, finding out what those issues are, and then putting a plan in place to solve those issues. And then step 4 is about making sure that you have regular monthly management information that shows you exactly how you're performing against the plan month on month for the next 12 months to make sure that you hit that plan, and that whenever you're coming off track, you know exactly what you need to do to get back on track. So good luck with the plan. Let me know how you get on, and of course this is what we do day in, day out. So if you'd like help from the My Accounts in Place team here, just arrange a discovery call. We'd love to get to know more about your business and welcome you in, and work with you on putting your profit improvement plan together so that you can start getting the results that you want and you deserve from the agency that you're running.